So yeah, I'm not unconfident about releasing those books. It's just that, I wanted to release these 6 books on social media, and I did the first 3 on YouTube only, and the next 2 I did on TikTok and YouTube. That's why they're in 10-minute slots under my audiobooks playlist in YouTube. But the 6th one I hadn't released, and this was 2 years ago. But when it comes to business, I'm just I'm being optimistic, but I'm also being like Teal Swan. I watched that recording too, so credit to her. I say those names not to boost, me, but to give them credit that, I'm always being realistic, but at the same time, I was more of not a doomer, but I was um, being realistic. Okay, I got to my late 20s and I was like, if I was earning the same amount as, if I was having a full time job, I was like, well, the way the world is, and I didn't have all the answers. I didn't even, what I knew about ADHD was all the people who had ADHD were walking around clotheslining them kids when they were like kids and stuff, and they were all struggled with drug addictions, and they all had a whole ton of energy and would be like bouncing off the walls. Okay, I had my 3 hours sleep. I woke up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. My whole situation, if you guys watched that recording, not this previous one, but the one before that, I had 3 minutes sleep, 3 hours sleep before I got up because of just the situation. I'd only been alive. I'd only been awake for 11 hours by the time I got to midnight. So even though I had a 3.5, I'm not sure if I just know it was more than 3 hours, but it's not as long as 4 hours. It's about 3.5 hours walk, and yeah, I had my 3 hours sleep. Anyways, Scrum Master, because you're working for a company, but you're doing, for products. You're doing it for products, and obviously I'll prioritize so that I'm full energy when I go in there, because for me, I'm like, my priorities for spending energy is whenever I go to these meetups, as well as going for my walks and going for my gym workouts, and I have rewards like going for swims. When I say swim, I'm usually just not doggy paddling, but like you're just like wading in the water. You're doing the butterfly swim thing, and you're like, not butterfly, but the you're like in and out, up, under, up, and then you just chill, and then I'll find a spot where it's like at my chest height, about this high or something, and just like stand there for ages, or just like float for ages. So swimming is, I suppose you can say it's a workout, but I just do it like that really. So obviously my energy will be, first priority would be going to, because I'm a servant leader. I'm also honest. This helps with my I get to say what I want to say, which is always the case, but it's a conversation and you miss out things and also, I don't know, it's okay. But I get to say what I want to say, but then I also get to see what I look like, and I get to remember what I said and remember what I believe. When people say that my words always line up, but I have to always explain myself, but that's because I keep forgetting. Even though I forget what I think or believe, it still somehow shows out in my actions. So like up here, I can't remember it, but it still comes out in my actions. And then when I do talk it out and describe it and discuss it with people, the exact same opinion always comes out, and then people be asking me, not the people, the autism group, because they fully understand, or the ADHD group, they understand, but elsewhere they'll be like, they think I'm egotistical, or they think I'm narcissistic, or they think I'm this and that, because I always have to describe and describe for 5-10 minutes to each person that ever asks me a question what I think about a certain topic. And even though there might have only been 20 minutes ago when someone asked me the same question, I forgot what I said, so I'm like talking like this to them, but it's a back and forth conversation, and we're discussing this, and then I think over what I said, and oh yes, but then like half an hour later totally forgot what I said. But when it's recorded like this, that's the other 50% that I get out of this. And it's more and more cemented. That's why I just watch those things like once or twice, and then I remember what I said for a very long time, for months. And half of it, when I come into a recording, it says on this day, I remember half of what I said, but the other half I forgot because it was like a year ago. But then I'll listen to it and I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense, or I'm pretty much the same, but there's some slight differences. Anyway, you guys can tell I'm tired. I would love to, I would spend my energy, my first priority energy would be being the servant leadership to a scrum team. Because again, I would like to work for myself, but I have had those experiences with the poetry of putting books out there and, saying, I wrote this book, buy a copy for $10. Get a hold of me and give me a $10 note, or you can put this $10 into my bank account and I will give you my book the next time I see you, because I didn't have a postal plan, but next time I see you, or so it's just local stuff, because I didn't know how to. Well, yeah, you can career post, but also you have to learn. You have to get people's trust that this solitary guy who's just the average guy walking the street is not a scam artist. Some guy on Trade Me, I was using like Trade Me or this TikTok is actually gonna post the book that he said he was gonna post to you. But you have to send him the money first, or put money into his bank account. And how many people do that as a scam? A lot. So it's just regional things like just around the block and all that type of stuff. And so none of that succeeded. And I did all the same hard out for the different aspects of the music industry, meaning like you can pay me to be a DJ for a night, or you can pay me to send instrumentals your way, or you can pay me to write songs for you. And I had adverts and everything, meaning like I would go out, and there was a couple of times I think I paid for it's a long time back now, I paid for a newspaper spot, something, but nothing happened. And then there was and then that was like about a month's worth of savings. And then I'm trying to think back, I don't remember exactly, but it might have been more, yeah. But the thing is none of these things happen, so I also have to be take on the wisdom of just one, because I agree, it's like you have to be realistic. I mean, to be opportunistic and just to dive head first after all of these things is pretty stupid. But if you get a qualification and work for a company where it's already established, but then they give you a team that your job is to encourage them and serve them on their mission to sell products and sell all these things, I think that's a good place to start. So the chapters I'm going to be releasing this book because I found out that there's no such mention of earning six figures in here. There's only 4 chapters, not 6. Chapter 1, Dealing with Conflict. Building self-esteem chapters. Chapter 1, dealing with